NIO with 3,900 insurance registrations. That's for the week of October 14th through the 20th. And oh yeah, also, if Onvo has 900, then what does this mean? Actually, let me hit the pause button because I want to show you something. I noticed this. We'll come back to the monthly numbers and what it looks like they're trending towards and how these numbers could be sneaky good. But down here, 2.2 thousand over here on the right, 2,249 views on this posting of only the NIO Onvo L60 numbers. Why do I highlight that? And look, now it's time for the date and timestamp. It's not going to be, by the time I get this out, it'll be about an hour into the market open on Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. This is why I wanted to point it out. Tesla and Xiaomi with only 1,000 views of this post about their data. And what about Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and BMW over here? How about the retail volume of NEV brands? Roughly 800, fewer than 1,000, obviously, views of that. And then over here, Li Auto, NIO, and Xiaopeng with a comparable number to just the NIO Onvo L60 number, 2,300 here. So the interest is what's kind of fascinating for me. This is like a simple way for me to look at kind of market sentiment, maybe market awareness, that sort of thing. All of these data points coming from the same account, ThinkerCar, which shout out, I love the data and a lot of what ThinkerCar shares. That's why I highlight it here. But also on the same platform that is owned by Mr. Overhype, who of course also runs Tesla. So maybe Onvo is actually bringing more eyes to NIO. And moving forward, I think that's great. So, all right, now let's break down the data and see what we're really dealing with and talking about and why I said it might be a sneaky good number. If we come back here to the data with NIO, just the NIO brand, it looks like 3,900. This is a guesstimate. It's not coming from NIO specifically. I always wait for their data at the end of the month. But if we look at a comparable month and comparable months, in fact, if we go back, this is, I'll give you the data. I've got it written down. May, NIO delivered 20,544 vehicles. June, 21,209. That is the record, to date. In July, 20,498. In August, 20,176. And September, when they just started with Onvo and the L60, the first sub-brand, and those deliveries for just a few days, 21,181. So let's go back to June, and that's why I've got it pulled up down here. This is the weekly data. I've been tracking it for a very long time. In fact, we're almost to 100 videos on this weekly data. But if we go back to June and look at that 21,209 number for the total monthly deliveries, how are we stacking up in this month of October? Estimation wise, this is an overview. Concept is the key here. But in what could be a comparable week, either 3,400 or 4,700, NIO with Onvo looks like they're at about 4,800, and just NIO a little under 4,000. Well, gosh, 3,400 here, 3,400 here. We saw numbers like that in previous months where NIO still delivered over 20,000. But what about October? Well, it looks like our estimate, at least from what I've got written down, we probably saw NIO come in with 4,000 in the first week of October, the first 6 days roughly, and then 5,600 between NIO and Onvo, and then 4,800 for this week, meaning the total could be 15,400, over 15,000 with about a week and a half left. By the way, the end of the month is typically when NIO does better. For example, this I think was the biggest single week NIO ever had. Obviously, this was without Onvo and the L60 deliveries happening. So yes, I do think we've got a legit shot at seeing NIO come in with a monthly delivery record. I'm really curious what the breakdown will be of NIO versus Onvo sales. But I wanted to show this and kind of offer why I think these could be sneaky good numbers here, kind of nestled in the middle of the month. Also, I didn't necessarily expect NIO and everything to look the same throughout the course of individual weeks through the months, especially bringing in Onvo and the L60 and not knowing how those numbers would look and what that ramp looks like. So anyway, just some of my thoughts, nerding out as usual, but I really was fascinated to see how much interest there was apparently in just NIO with Onvo and the L60, which is still a new release. So Drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you, your thoughts. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you all again very soon.